Niggas know this shit get out of hand, but they smile, cause you've been so long without a man. And it won't be long till you're out of bands. The only thing you really need is a husband. The only thing you really need is a husband. The only thought you ever need is I trust him. All your dreams, all your goals, it's promised with this ring I have in my hands. The main thing a nigga got is these plans. Got a plan for us, got a plan to grow, got a plan for homes, got a plan for bad times, got a plan for good times, got a plan for hood times, got a plan for hood crimes, got a plan for trust, got a plan for lust, got a plan for Beverly Hills. You know that's where they at. You know that's where they at. Beverly Hills. You know that's where they at. I don't really wanna go back to that. If I do, I know I'm going back to back. Breaking backs to backs. Imagine that, that's so hazardous, so I handle that. All you really need is a husband. Show you loving. Let him touch you, let him rub you, let him hug you, let him thug you, let him hold you down. All you need is a husband who gon' touch you, who gon' rub you, who gon' hug you, who gon' kiss you, who gon' miss you with no issue, with no issue, and no issue.
All right. So I saw this before I went to bed. I was like, okay, my creator wake me up in the morning. We'll check social media again to see did she finally put something on X supporting her, supporting Raven. I mean, this is a top 10 pick. All right. This is a top 10 pick. And so you would think that Caitlyn would do something like that. This is literally a top 10 pick. This is the WNBA's 30th season. Okay. And so, you know, that's what you would believe. You would believe someone like Caitlyn Clark, who is so public, a public figure like her, the number one superstar in the WNBA, the top player on the Indiana Fever, next to Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey, you would believe that Caitlyn Clark would at least repost from the Indiana Fever that they drafted Raven Johnson. You would at least get a repost, maybe a comment saying, woohoo, Raven, or something. Maybe you can be self-deprecating and make fun of that situation of Raven Johnson locking you down in 2024, something, right? Maybe you could have said iron sharpens iron, or I'm happy I don't have to deal with that demon again. Something, right? You know, just anything, a share, a comment saying congratulations, an emoji, something. We didn't get anything from Caitlyn Clark on Twitter. I was like, okay, well, that's Twitter. So you could see a post, nothing. So you say, well, let's go to replies. Okay, well, let's go to replies. Not a repost, not a comment. Her last post was 5 days ago. I mean, she loves that golf stuff and talking about being a taste tester and all of this other BS. But like, and that's what it is, just nothing, y'all. So there's not a post. There's not a single reply. There's not a comment. There's nothing from Caitlin Clark. Okay, so let's go to IG. Let's go to IG. Hey, baby. So happy we got you on the squad. Let's go to IG real quick. Let's check Caitlin Clark out on IG. Oh, nope. So she welcomed Maisha Hines-Allen and didn't give a damn about Raven Johnson. It's not like the draft came on ESPN at 10 o'clock at night or at midnight and Caitlin was asleep. This thing aired at 7 o'clock. So there's no excuse. Caitlin can't say, oh, I was asleep. I don't even believe she was at the draft party, if I'm not mistaken. The Fever had a draft party. I didn't see Caitlin at the draft party. I know everyone showed up for her, right? So we saw Lexi and Erica Wheeler and I forget someone else showed up for Caitlin's draft party. We had Indiana Fever fans show up to support Grace Berger. So, but Caitlin and Sophie and Lexi and hell, even Aaliyah, but I'm pretty sure Aaliyah reached out to her because they're close. But so listen, forget the draft party. Caitlin probably isn't even in Indianapolis. That's fair. Forget the draft party. You mean to tell me you couldn't put up in the IG story? Because like I said, it's not like the draft was aired on television at 10 o'clock at night and you could come up with the excuse that you were asleep. I don't know. Maybe you and Connor and Lexi was having a threesome and it got crazy and y'all got high. You know, maybe y'all was doing some heroin or something. Who knows, right? Because Caitlin loves sniffing her nose and wiping her nose and blowing her nose. They could have been snorting coke all night, doing lines, getting drunk. Her, Lexi, Connor, having a nasty little threesome. So you just never know. You never know, right? I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I wouldn't put it past this chick. Okay, so perhaps Caitlin Clark was busy doing lines with Lexi and Connor and having a threesome, potentially. Or maybe they were shooting up heroin. Who the hell knows? Okay, but there's no way that you could say, oh, I didn't know. Oh, I forgot. How could you forget? You know you have a pick in the first round. Your team, this is for the future of the franchise you are the face of. You would think that you would at least go to IG and say something on your IG story celebrating her. Your last IG story was 16 hours ago about Maisha Hines-Allen. And if you had to give Maisha Hines-Allen a letter grade, you would give her a C- or a C. So moving along, you would say, is there just a post in general? No, I mean, just nothing. So let's go to the Fever, right? So you would say, well, surely she supported her with the Fever, right? I mean, so let's go. So let's go into anything. Let's see. This was 19 minutes ago. Maybe Caitlin's still asleep. Okay, no likes, no comments. Okay, let me like that real quick. This is fun. Let's see. Nothing. Let's check the comments. Okay, nothing. Wow. All right. All right, we're not going to do that. Okay, let's check the likes. Monique Billings, the new Fever teammate, she liked it. Caitlin is nowhere to be found. And by the way, I'm following Caitlin Clark on this account, and Lexi Hall, and Sophie, and Aaliyah, and so there's that. But anyway, so there's nothing there, just Monique Billings. Oh, wait, did I check the comments? Are you in the comments, Caitlin? No, Caitlin isn't in the comments. Not in the comments. Caitlin didn't like it. Just Monique. Not even Lexi, which is crazy. You would think Lexi or Sophie would have. But it's about the face of the Fever, the main face, which is Caitlin. That's the most egregious. And then the second most egregious would be Aaliyah. Okay. So maybe they were all too busy getting drunk and high. Who knows? So let's go. Let's check this out. Jada Gemfie, she's not even in the league. And Jada Gemfie liked it. Okay. All right. Let's go through the comments. And Caitlin, where are you? Are you in the comments saying congratulations, girl? You throwing up champagne emojis? Like, what are you doing? Okay. All right. So let's go here. Nothing. Is she in the comments? No. There's nothing from Caitlin in the comments. Okay, well, what about this? No, nothing. Nothing. Just nothing from Caitlin. Okay. Yeah, just check the likes. Nothing from Caitlin. And also nothing from Aaliyah Boston as well. So which is kind of wild. You would think that you would see Aaliyah Boston, but I'm pretty sure Aaliyah called her. But you would like to see some social media support. I mean, we at least saw something from Monique Billings. Okay. So, wow. That's bad. Demiris Dantes. So we got something from Demiris. Demiris Dantes. All right, let's go through the comments and yeah, wow. So it's clear, at least on social media, for social media support, that her teammates weren't too enthusiastic. They weren't enthusiastic about it at all. This is pretty bad. There's no way you could tell me that if the Fever drafted Kiki Rice or any other player, Caitlin would have jumped up in the comments. But the fact that they drafted Raven, there's just nothing. There's literally nothing. There's nothing. Right? If they drafted Neepkins, Caitlin would have been in the comments. Caitlin would have had an IG story on her. All of that. Caitlin would have quoted the Fever's tweet on Twitter. But you drafted Raven and Caitlin waves her off again like you see in the cover photo. Okay. What about this one? We got another Monique Billings sighting. Okay, Monique. Okay, Monique showing support again. Are you in the comments, Caitlin? Are you in the comments, Caitlin? No, not under this one either. Okay, let's check this one. This is really nice. No. I don't even know if I'm following Kelsey Mitchell on this account. I probably am. I need to see. I'm disappointed in Kelsey Mitchell as well. You would think Kelsey, but I didn't check Kelsey IG story. So maybe Kelsey, Lexi, and Sophie and Aaliyah put something in their IG story. Caitlin has nothing in her IG story. No post, nothing on Twitter at all in any shape, form, or fashion. And so far, there's nothing, and there's not a like from her. There's not a comment from her. So there's not even a reshare. She hasn't even reshared this on her account. This is the moment we drafted her. Just nothing. Just absolutely nothing. No, and people saying she doesn't look happy. No, it's just that she said that she thought that she was going to go later. She didn't believe that she would go that high. And it's sort of like what happened with Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall believed that she was going to be a second round pick, and they took Lexi with the 6th pick. Lexi couldn't believe it. Kaiser Gondrzik, her mother and her agent said that they thought Kaiser was going to go in the 2nd round, and the Fever took Kaiser with the 4th pick. So Raven is just being a realist. And Raven honestly didn't believe she was going to get drafted that high. She was being a realist, y'all, especially off of her poor performance against UCLA. So she thought it was going to hurt her. And that's why, so she was literally shocked, like, Oh my God. Raven had no clue that she was going to be a top 10 pick. No clue. Right? You got to understand something. That was a bad performance against UCLA, y'all. That was a bad performance. And she thought that hurt her. So she was, if you check her interview after she got drafted, she said she was shocked. She said, I didn't know that I was going to go that high. So, yeah. Is there anything with Caitlin here? No, nothing with Caitlin. Yeah, I mean, just no support. I don't even see Lexi in the comments, but all right. And this was the moment. This was the moment right here. 10th pick, Raven Johnson. And we got Ion in there, right? And my girl Harmony Turner. There's finally Aaliyah Boston. Okay, so we get something from Aaliyah. So on the initial post about Raven being drafted, there's Aaliyah Boston, Monique Billings, my G Harmony Turner, who should be in his league. She's still overseas, but Harmony should be in his league. That's the Harvard girl. So yeah, that's it. What did Aaliyah do on IG story? There you go. There you go, Aaliyah. All right, that's right. And got my girl Passat, man. So I thought the Fever draft was pretty solid. I just thought that the Fever really needed a true big, and Raven isn't better than Kayana Traylor. So I was surprised by that, because I'm like, Kayana Traylor is 1,000 times better than Raven. So, but one thing you can't take away from Raven is her defense and her 50-50 game. And she got a nice handle. She got a tight handle. So if you're going to be a point guard in the pros, the handle got to be tight. So that's good. The handle tight. So it's pro ready. The handle is pro ready. That defense is damn near pretty much Hall of Fame ready. Is getting there. Like, she stepped in the league on day one. She locking them down. And the hustle plays is Lexi Hall material. Her hustle plays. That's on some Lexi Hall material. So she got 3 things necessary in order to carve out minutes. If you could play defense and hustle, they're going to give you minutes. If you got a tight handle and you can hustle and play defense, you're going to get minutes. So the fact that she has a tight handle for that point guard position, she hustle like Lexi Hall, and her defense is borderline Hall of Fame level, she's going to get minutes. Okay, she's going to get a nice substantial chunk of minutes. The issue is that what she can learn from Caitlin is vision, anticipation, seeing windows, knowing how to pass into certain windows, knowing how to pass into chaos, and all of those things. So that's something she could pick up from Caitlin, which would be great. She's going to learn things from Karima Christmas Kelly. She's going to learn things from Tully. She's going to learn things from Stephanie White. She's going to learn things from Caitlin Clark, which is going to be great. She might even pick up a few pointers from Kayana Traylor, who's been playing pro basketball since 2023. So it's always some things to learn. Her issue is that she has to prove, at least at the pro level, that she can be efficient shooting threes and having different go-to shots and counters to get those threes off. That's the next step for her. I'm not worried about her handle. I'm not worried about her slashing. I'm not worried about her finishing at the rim. I'm not worried about her layup package. She has a better layup package than Caitlin. She has a better slashing package than Caitlin. She has better shots at the rim than Caitlin. What she doesn't have that Caitlin have is point guard ability in terms of vision, okay? In terms of anticipation, spatial awareness, seeing it before it happens, passing players open, putting it where only they can get it. All of those things, she can learn that from Caitlin. Now, what she don't want to take from Caitlin is Caitlin playing on the edge with her passes 100% of the time, pretty much, which it gets Caitlin into trouble. That's why she averages over 5 turnovers a game in the WNBA her first 2 seasons. That's what gets Caitlin into a lot of trouble, is Caitlin takes so many chances. so many chances. But when Caitlin isn't taking those chances, she's one of the best facilitators we've seen. The reason why her turnovers are so high is because she takes so many chances. But when it pays off, it's pretty amazing, right? So I think Raven shouldn't take as many chances as Caitlin, but you do need to take chances in the WNBA because the windows are so small. These women are longer, they're smarter, they're seasoned, it's faster. And so those windows aren't going to be as big as they were in college. And sometimes you have to take chances. And that requires anticipation, vision, and accuracy, timing, understanding, chemistry. And that's going to come with time. But she can learn that with film study. She can learn that with reps. She can learn that with talking to Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin will teach her those things. I'm pretty sure Caitlin is going to be don't copy off of me when I grab a rebound and I pass it between 3 defenders from 80 feet. Don't do that. That's going to take a little bit of time, but you are going to have to see things before they happen, at least in the half court, because the windows are really tight in the WNBA. So she can learn a lot from Caitlin. Let's just call it what it is. Do I think she should be passing it from 80 feet between 3 defenders? No. But in the half court, she can learn a lot from Caitlin. So what can she help Caitlin improve on? Ball security. Period. And have Caitlin, this is at practice. Iron sharpens iron, right? This is at practice. And having her to guard Caitlin in training camp at practices, that's gonna have Caitlin's handle to get a lot tighter, and it's gonna force Caitlin to be more creative. Remember what I told y'all, Caitlin is very creative in reverse, okay? That's step backs, that's snatch backs, that's punch dribbles into a step back, right? That's all of that. Anything going into reverse, Caitlin is masterful at. Elite. That's side steps. Caitlin is elite in reverse. 1000% elite, y'all. But going forward, she basic as hell. Like I keep telling you, she got an in and out into a right to left or a left to right. Every blue, black moon, you might get a spin move from her going to the rim. She might hit you with a hezzy and then drive hard to the rim. But all of that is rare. Caitlin is real basic going forward. Going to the rim, she real basic, y'all. And she got a spin move every now and again she'll do when she slash. But she just a basic slasher. She just drives really hard when she slashes. And she has like no euro. There's no pro hop. There's no dig. There's no swim. Like it's real basic. And it's rare she'll get you with a spin move. So it's like she real basic. Her slashing package is, if I had to give it a letter grade, I got to give it an F because she really only got one slash move. Every now and again, she'll hit you with a spin move, but that's kind of rare for her. So she pretty basic, and her shots at the rim, I got to give it a D. So like I keep telling y'all, she doesn't have floaters or teardrops. Her layup package is terrible. And so because of that, her shots at the rim aren't good. Runners, obviously, she don't do runners from the elbow or at the free throw line. She doesn't do leaners. She can learn from Lexi with leaners. She doesn't have leaners. But Caitlin, what she does on the perimeter, she can do that in the mid-range. So sometimes in the mid-range, Caitlin will hit you with a snatch back and a step back or a side step. So you'll get that in the mid-range game. And Caitlin has a high IQ in terms of exploiting weaker defenders, their weaknesses. So if Caitlin sees that you're small, sometimes Caitlin will just drive on you or back you down. I think Caitlin's back to the basket game in terms of being a guard post up. If I had to give her a letter grade, I'll give Caitlin a B. I think Caitlin has a nice back to the basket game as a guard. She really does. She got a nice little post fadeaway as well. So I'm not worried about that. Her IQ, Caitlin, if she sees you're shorter than her, you're really skinny, Caitlin is going to eat her food. She's going to take advantage of you. The issue is that she's not always presented that. And when she's not presented someone like Jalen Sherrard or Rachel Banham or Julie Van Lowe, Caitlin has issues. She has a lot of issues with that because she's not creative going forward the way she is going in reverse. That's why I called her Rewindo, where freaking Jesse Pinkman was talking to Jane and Jane asked him about Backwardo. And she was like, and Jesse was like, oh no, wait a second. I changed it to Rewindo. And she was like, what kind of superpower is that? And he was like, if let's say someone pulls a knife on him and tries to attack him, he can just speed up real fast going backwards. And she was like, okay, what kind of superpower is that? He's like, what he said, that was like 3 years ago when I was in high school or something like, it was like, and she was like, okay. But yeah, so that's Rewindo. Caitlin is Rewindo. She's Rewindo. She's really good going in reverse. Super good. She even admitted that. But going forward, she has issues. So Raven can help her with that. Raven can help her in practice, locking Caitlin up and forcing Caitlin to be more creative moving forward. All that's going to do is help Caitlin out. And Caitlin can help Raven with a better three-point package. Raven three-point package isn't good. Meaning what? Off the dribble, being creative, getting your three-point shot off, right? Go-tos to get them and counters. Raven has to get that right. Caitlin can help Raven with that. And Caitlin can help Raven in terms of IQ, passing IQ. She can help Raven with that. That's really all Raven need from Caitlin because Raven got a better slashing game than Caitlin. Raven has a better layup package than Caitlin and a better shot at the rim package than Caitlin. And obviously Raven is more physical and Raven is the better defender, right? So, and Raven got a tighter handle than Caitlin. Raven handle nice. She got a tight handle. So they both can learn from each other. But the fact that Caitlin didn't even show one modicum of support for Caitlin, for Raven is very, hold on, y'all. All right, so let me check the comments. Maybe she's in the comments on this one. No. Hell, even the Pacers show love. The freaking Indiana Pacers show love, y'all. The Indianapolis Colts. They say Hollywood Raven. We got the Colts showing love. We've got the Pacers showing love. Hell, we even got Ion. We got Ion showing love. But there's nothing from Caitlin Clark at all. That's bad, y'all. This is a top 10 pick. This is supposed to be someone coming to your franchise to help you out, to somehow, some way help the Indiana Fever out. And that's not what happened. Caitlin didn't show any support. So yeah, there's that. No support from Caitlin. So we can go back to Caitlin Clark again. And as you can see, and I purposefully followed her so I could be able to check this stuff out. Like it's just nothing from her, y'all. Nothing, not a post. Nothing on her IG story. We can go back to Twitter. Refresh it. There's nothing. No post. Let's see, did she quote the tweet from the Fever or anything? Nothing. Nothing from Caitlin Clark. Okay, let's go to Sophie. Let's check Sophie out. What am I doing? Let's check Sophie. Let's move this chick out of the way. Let's check Sophie. What about you, Sophie? What about Sophie Cunningham? Obviously, no post from Sophie. Did you show any support on your IG story? Well, this is 12 hours ago. So Sophie is working out. She's at Mizzou. She's getting it in. She said, just like the old days. Okay. Minus the wedding ring. So what, Sophie is getting married? Oh, that's her and her sister. So, yeah, this Lindsay. All right, so Lindsay obviously used to play for Mizzou as well. All right, because I'm like, when did Sophie get engaged? All right. That was an hour ago. So an hour ago, nothing from Sophie about Raven.
I've been doing my taxes all day, yesterday and today, because they're due April 15th. But these are my personal property taxes, and I went to go pay them. Also, got my nails done last week, and I'm pretty sure this one's infected. It's hot and it hurts. But to what I was saying, I'm pretty sure they use scented paper. They definitely do. It smells good. It's like cologne. So like you pay all this money, and what do you get? Paper that smells like cologne.
So she would rather make a post about paper with some sort of fragrance. So yeah, and even in that, she couldn't say, "Oh, by the way, congratulations, Raven." Something like, all right. So there's nothing from Sophie. Let's go to Lexi. What did you do, Lexi? I'm not sure if I'm following with Lexi. Yeah, I am following with Lexi. Okay, so Lexi got rich and famous off of Caitlyn, like Sophie did. So let's see. Okay, there's nothing from Lexi. She's just utilizing Caitlyn Clark's clout. Let's see the IG story. Nothing. So she brought up how that she got drafted and how surprised she was, but there's nothing, and this was 23 hours ago. So Lexi was busy supporting herself. But one thing I used to always complain about Lexi with the Fever, when she first got with the Fever, her first 2 years with the Fever, Lexi, anytime the Fever lost, and the Fever lost a lot, you know what Lexi would do? Lexi would go to IG immediately after the game and show highlights of her. Of any little thing she did good in that game, she would post it on her IG story. When the Fever fans are like, "Lexi, you are completely tone deaf. This is now 15 losses in a row. What are you doing?" Like, what are you doing? Or sometimes Lexi would show her fit. This is now 7 losses in a row, and you went to IG after the game showing your fit. Like, completely tone deaf. So I used to make videos getting on Lexi about that. I love Lexi, but I used to get on Lexi about that. Like, what are you doing, Lexi? Right? So this is right on brand for Lexi, that you said, okay, I'm gonna show you me getting drafted, my moment. But that was 23 hours ago. And there was literally nothing supporting Raven. Nothing. First round pick, nothing from Lexi Hall. Not a comment. Lexi, she's not even on X. She has an X account. Lexi hasn't been on X in what, 6 years? Probably 7 years. She even said that. She said, I don't be on that app anymore. So her mom, Jamie, she's on the app. Her dad used to be on the app and then he stopped. But yeah, like Lexi, that's just nothing. Nothing from Lexi. Okay, all right, that's Lexi. Lexi is busy building Lexi's brand. Lexi is just caring about Lexi, right? Like how when the Fever lost 10 games in a row, Lexi would just show her fits after the game. Lexi is busy with Lexi, y'all. Okay, that's how vain Lexi is. So she's so vain that she prayed to God for a twin. That's how vain she is. I'm always in my battle rap mode. Lexi is so vain. Lexi is so self-absorbed that she begged God in a spiritual world. She said, "God, if you're going to send me to planet Earth, give me a twin, because I love looking at myself." And that's what I'm like, God, I'm all about myself. So if you ever going to put me back on Earth, I need a twin. I need to always be able to see myself. That's Lexi. That's Lexi, her first 2 years with the Fever. After every loss, Lexi is either going to IG showing her fit or some sort of highlight she made. You know what, Lexi? When you lose 10 games in a row, I think you shouldn't even be, after a loss, just don't have anything on your IG story except a letter to the fans. Hey, Fever fans, I promise you we're going to figure this out. I mean, after 10 losses, that's what the Fever want to hear. Nalissa Smith didn't even do that. Nalissa Smith, after losses, Nalissa Smith ghost on her IG story, ghost. Like, that's the way that was supposed to be, but that's not what happened with Lexi. So it's not surprising that Lexi will use this moment to say, hey, remember when I got drafted and then you couldn't do anything 10 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 15? What are we doing, Lexi? You couldn't say anything about Raven? Nothing? You couldn't go to the Indiana Fever and say anything about Raven? Nothing? Nothing? So maybe Caitlyn liked Raven on some freaking WNBA post. Before we do that, let's see, did Kelsey Mitchell say something? Let me see. There you go. There you go, Kelsey. So we got Kelsey, Aaliyah, and Monique Billings and Damiris Dantas. Those are the people who supported Raven. There you go, Kelsey. Oh, Kelsey's showing love to all of them. That's her Ohio State baby right there. Oh, look at Kelsey. Kelsey thorough. Kelsey thorough. You see that? So we got Kelsey Mitchell who showed love. Damiris Dantas showed love. Monique Billings showed love. Aaliyah Boston showed love. The Indiana Pacers showed love. The Indianapolis Colts showed love. Hell, Ion showed love. Okay, but not Caitlin Clark, not Sophie Cunningham. And this is literally Sophie a few minutes ago talking about scented paper and not a single thing about Raven. Sophie shared 2 IG stories within the last hour. Not a single one of them celebrated Raven. There isn't a single like from Sophie under any Indiana Fever post about Raven, and there isn't a single comment or reshare from Sophie or Lexi, and nothing in her IG stories, and nothing from Caitlin Clark, by the way. All right, so let's go to, you would say, well, perhaps they did something under the WNBA. Okay, well, let's check that out. Look, I'm so happy Kathy back. Kathy Confidence, so she back on IG now posting. Let's go straight to Raven, because that's what we want to do. So this is the WNBA. This is Raven's moment. Wait a second. Okay, this is Raven's first moment right here. 23 likes, 23,000 likes, nothing. Nothing. All right. Are you in the comments, Caitlin? Yeah, you even got that old school basketball player Nate Robinson in the comments. Okay. Yeah, so nothing from Caitlin. That's 530 comments, nothing from Caitlin. All right. So let's go to this one. Special moment when they called her name. 21.8 thousand likes. Nothing from Caitlin. Are you in the comments, Caitlin? Hell, Sprite. You got Sprite in the comments showing love. Yeah, nothing from Caitlin, nothing from Lexi, nothing from Sophie. Wow. Okay, so there's that. There's that, y'all. There's that. There's that. So you would say, well, you didn't check ESPN. Perhaps they like something from ESPN or espnW. Okay, because, I love, I'm real thorough. So let's go. Let's be fair. Let's check it all. Let's check all of it. Okay, where was the first post of her getting drafted? Here it is right here. 31.5 thousand likes. Monique Billings showed up again, y'all. Monique is really showing support. Much love to Monique, y'all. Much love to Monique. Look at Monique.
Y'all,
Monique, oh, look at Monique. Look at Monique. Even went to her IG story. Look at Monique. Monique showing love. Let me go back to Pissat, man, real quick. Hold up, Monique. Let me go back and show love to Justine. Let me show love to Justine, Monique. There you go. That's my baby. All right. Yeah, so nothing from Caitlin Clark. Are you in the comments? That's over 1,000 comments. I don't know who that is, Punky Johnson. Some weird name people in here. Yeah, so nothing from Lexi, Sophie, or Caitlin Clark. All right. Let's go to ESPNW. Let's see. Let's go to ESPNW. Let's go to... Okay, so this is the first. All right, we already saw that. Let's check this one. This got 15.9 thousand. Nope, but Jada Genfie. This is the second time Jada Genfie shows support. And Jada isn't even in the league. And shame on Lisa Bluter and Jan for not giving Jada minutes, because Jada is a damn good hooper. She real nice with it, and they just made her a cheerleader. So I hate it. But Jada is so loyal, she didn't want to leave. I believe Jada was, what, a 4-star? If I'm not mistaken. I thought Jada was a 4-star recruit. But if you ever seen Jada hoop, Jada nice, dog. Nice handle, a nice layup package, good midi package. Jada nice, dog. Real nice with it. I thought Jada was a 4-star. She could have been a 3-star, but I thought Jada was a 4-star. I might have to Google that again. I could have sworn Jada was a 4-star. But anyway, so there's that. We got Jada. Let's check the comments. Let's check the comments look at that. Look at that. You got these sporting goods up in there. So they're there. Where's Caitlin? Is there anything with Caitlin? Nothing with Caitlin. All right. Do I see another one with Raven? Here's another one with Raven. And listen, this is ESPNW, I guess, trying to reach out to Caitlin in some way. In some way, reach out to Caitlin. We're going to add you to this collage. And so this has 6,700 likes. And the Fever liked it. So there's that. 111 comments. There's the Fever in the comments. And yeah. Is Caitlin in the hidden comments? No, she's not in the hidden comments. So, yeah, man. Is there anything else? Okay, so let's be fair. Perhaps Raven got a text from Caitlin or a DM, and Raven is sharing it on her IG story to show everyone that Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi text her, went in the DMs to support her. Did they FaceTime her? Let's see. Let's be fair. Let's go to Raven Hollywood Johnson's IG stories. And perhaps she shared something of Caitlin smiling, FaceTiming, and she screenshotted it and then shared it. So let's see. Let's see. Matter of fact, let me follow my G Raven. Now I'm following her on my real IG account. This is a ghost account that I use for YouTube. So, all right. Oh, okay. So they're supporting her at the Breakfast Club.
Been here.
Okay.
Anyway, I think
Nia Latson. Raven.
And there it is, 3 hours ago. So Raven put this up 3 hours ago, and clearly there was nothing from Caitlin, Lexi, or Sophie. Because if it were, she would have shared it on her IG story, and that was 3 hours ago. So, and she made sure she reshared all of this stuff, which is great. She just signed a deal with Adidas as well. So her and Aaliyah Boston are both Adidas girls. I'm not sure if is Sophie with Adidas too? I think Sophie is with Adidas, if I'm not mistaken. So if that's the case, then they got 3 Adidas girls on the same team. Maybe that's what like this is crazy. So anyway, like just nothing. So, I mean, nothing. Let's look at Kathy. Maybe Kathy is like I'm going to be the mediator. Like, I'm going to set everything straight. Let's go. Kathy probably got all the tea. Kathy got all the tea, y'all. Let's check Kathy. Kathy, like, I'm going to clear all this up. Caitlin reached out to me, and I reached out to Raven, and they patched things up, right? I got the receipts. And so let's see. Do Kathy got receipts?
2026.
No, Kathy couldn't help the situation. So, yeah, there's that. There's that, man. There's that. Your girl, Caitlin Clark. Just nothing. And then her fans are losing their minds. Cussing and screaming at each other. Just going crazy. What you had some, what was the old boy name? You had the dude from the Gamecocks, the light skinned, the biracial dude, going at it with that girl Correlation in a Twitter space. And she trying to clown him, he clowning her. And then she lost her mind when they drafted Raven. Now everyone clowning her, saying it seemed like she having a mental or some type of breakdown, and somebody needs to check her mental state, and some people need to put her in a psych ward or something like. So I guess she thought that was going to go over well, but everyone is saying that what she did was embarrassing. Correlation is embarrassing. What she did, that was unnecessary. Don't give me all this crash out BS. That's unnecessary, what she did. And people are seriously, genuinely concerned about her mental health. Correlation, because that was kind of wild what she did in her Twitter space. Like, was it really that? This chick, you couldn't even really make out some of the stuff she was saying. It was F-bombs, and it was all over the place, and people were seriously concerned for her mental state. So, and then the albino dude, he get in there defending Raven, cussing Correlation out, and then Correlation mutes his mic. Now, I just saw people share this on Twitter this morning. I didn't even know. I haven't listened to that chick Twitter space since they started to clown Stephanie White for playing prison ball. And I knew for a fact that it's clear that they don't know basketball, how Stephanie had to take it slow because of all the injuries. And you're bringing in these new players, and they have to get to learn each other and build chemistry. And so you have to start the pace off a little slow so they could figure each other out. Then once they figured each other out, the Indiana Fever was top 5 in the WNBA for pace. But Stephanie had to work it out a little bit. Go slow, and once y'all build chemistry with each other, we can pick up the pace. The Fever ended the season top 5 with pace in the WNBA. You understand? So I stopped after that, and they was calling it prison ball. I said, oh my gosh, y'all, everyone is dead on this team. They just brought in some new players. Like, we got injuries after injuries. Did you expect them to go 100 miles an hour on the first day? Like, calm down. Like, it's just, so I was done. It's a toxic space anyway. So I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. So I literally haven't listened to that chick since that happened. Since all that happened, I haven't listened to them. The only thing I would see about them is things on Twitter when, like, people are pissed at them or people are clipping something. But in terms of me going into their space or checking their Twitter accounts, I haven't done that since they was clowning Stephanie White about playing prison ball during the season when she first started doing that. And I was done with them. So this was my first time seeing that type of stuff. And she really did sound like she was losing her mind, y'all. She really did. Like, that was embarrassing. And the albino dude, that was kind of crazy, but he was so pissed because he's very protective of Raven and Asia Wilson, but Raven is special to him, real special to him. And so he's not going to just tolerate anything people say negative about Raven. Raven is a special situation, and so you gotta be careful with Raven, y'all. Don't be so mean to her. Don't be mean to her at all. Like, let her figure this out. Y'all already know when Caitlyn waved her off in the game, she wanted to quit basketball. She said she wanted to go into isolation, and so that goes to show, like, take it easy with her, y'all. Like, everyone, their mental state isn't equal to everyone else's. So some people are stronger mentally and other people aren't as strong mentally, and they have to develop that over time. That situation with Caitlyn made Raven mentally tougher, okay? And it took some time, but she made Raven mentally tougher, and Raven bounced back and was able to beat Caitlin Clark to win the national championship game. But what that shows you is that Raven isn't as mentally tough as other people. So you have to tread lightly. You got to be careful, y'all. Like, don't just pile on her because she could break down potentially. Okay, she could break down. Is she physical? Is she tough? Is she a strong physical woman? Absolutely. Can she play lockdown defense? Absolutely. Will she dive on the floor for loose balls? Absolutely. Okay, but is she as mentally tough as Skylar Diggins? Probably not. And that was evidence in that game when she said she wanted to quit basketball and go into isolation. And then she said she had a strong support group that had to build her back up. And she got back in the gym and got to work. And God blessed her with that hard work by winning the championship against a woman who waved you off. Okay, so what do we know about that situation? That you need to be careful with certain people and don't just pile on them like that. Calm down, y'all. So for correlation to do that to her, and I don't care if it was direct or indirect. I don't care if all of your ire was aimed at the front office. That's still a shot at Raven, right? That's still a shot at Raven. Period. Okay. So I have an issue with that. And that was just correlation. Everyone else was piling on Raven as well, and the front office. So when you attack the front office, you're attacking Raven. You understand? And like, that's what that was. So, and part of the issue is that they don't know basketball. Correlation doesn't know basketball. That chick literally said she started watching women's basketball in 2023, and then she got caught with a lie. This one black chick jumped in the comments and was like, okay, who won a championship in 2023? And she didn't know. And so she got called out, and then boom, they kicked that black chick from the space. Like, how you kick her from this? You lied. You lied and said you started watching women's basketball in 2023. She asked you who won a championship in 2023, and you didn't know. You lied. Okay, so then y'all get mad and kick that black chick from the space, right? So she a liar. So what that shows me is that she doesn't know basketball, because if she did, she would know the value of Raven. But you will also say, well, what does Raven need to work on? I told y'all, and then she could learn that from Caitlin Clark. And then Raven can help Caitlin Clark pick up her ball handling. Her ball handling to be a lot better in practice, being defended by Raven. Raven is going to get that handle nice and tight. Raven is going to force Caitlin Clark to be more creative with that basketball moving forward. Raven's defense might rub off on Caitlin, and Caitlin will now become a better on-ball defender. Caitlin is a great help defender, and she's a great prober. She's great with weak side help, and she's just a great help defender, but she's not a good on-ball defender. That's not Caitlin, okay? So Raven can help Caitlin with on-ball defense. Raven can help Caitlin in terms of being a better 50-50 player, but I don't think that's going to happen because Lexi didn't rub off on Caitlin, so I don't think that's going to happen. But at least she can help Caitlin with better defense and help Caitlin in terms of going forward, being creative with that basketball going towards the rim, because that's one of Caitlin's downfalls. That's her weakness. That's one of her deficiencies, right? One of her defects where there's dearth, okay? So she can give Caitlin a surfeit where there's a deficit. Right? See, I'm teaching y'all new words. So where there's a deficit, Raven can give Caitlin a surfeit. And the same thing with Caitlin to Raven. And so they both can just help each other out. And like, that's all you had to say. All you had to do was point out the pros and cons. We needed a point guard. Stop acting like we didn't need a point guard. We did. We needed a point guard. Now, the argument, you could say, well, you didn't need Raven because you picked up Kayana Traylor, and Kayana Traylor is better on offense than Raven. Kayana Traylor is a better passer than Raven. And Kayana and Raven got the same defense and the same hustle, the same 50-50 game. Kayana is a lockdown defender just like Raven. Kayana is a hustle player just like Raven and Lexi. But Kayana is better on offense than Raven on all fronts. So you could say, well, you got Kayana. You didn't need Raven. We needed a true big, right? We needed a true big. And so you can make an argument for that. Right? You can make an argument for that. You didn't need a wing because you got multiple wings. So it's not like you needed a wing. You needed a true big. Okay. You needed a true big. You got 3 wings. Okay. You got Sophie, Lexi, and Maisha. Maisha played a 3 and a 4. Okay. And whoever else is on the Fever roster that I'm forgetting about. And then you really needed, well, you got Michaela and you got Monique Billings as well, but you still need another 4, but you really needed a 5. This is all before Justine got drafted, and Justine is a 3 and a 4. So this is all before she got drafted. What the Fever needed was a pure point guard and a big. Ty Harris is a shooting guard. They'll make her play point guard, but she's not great at it. Okay? She's not great at it. So there's that. So you don't have a real point guard to back up Caitlin. So you needed a pure point guard, where Raven led the nation in assist to turnover ratio. Raven just doesn't have the type of vision Caitlin has that you would need for the W, or even the type of vision Kayana Traylor has. She just doesn't, y'all. Or the type of vision Julie Van Loo has, or Maureen Johannes has, or Skylar Diggins has, right? Or Courtney Vandersloot has, or Chelsea Gray has. There's things that you got to work on. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to say that she's not perfect, right? She doesn't have better court vision than Caitlin Chen. She doesn't have better court vision than Veronica Burton. That's okay. It's okay to say those things. She's not perfect. She doesn't have better court vision than Layla Lacan. Okay, we can highlight this stuff. She doesn't have better court vision than Jordan Canada. We could talk about all these things. But what she is that she takes care of that basketball. Number 1 in assist to turnover ratio in the SEC, in the nation. So that says a lot, right? You're going up against a lot of great talent in the SEC, and they had a pretty tough out-of-conference schedule. And obviously going throughout the tournament, she got caught up against UCLA. I think she had, 3 or 4 turnovers. But up until that point, battling against these difficult teams in the SEC, their non-conference schedule, and then going through the tournament, the SEC tournament, and then the NCAA tournament, and her assist to turnover ratio was practically immaculate. That says a lot that she's going to take care of that basketball. It's just that those windows in the WNBA are really small. So your anticipation has to be a lot better. Your vision, your spatial awareness, your precision, all of that has to be a lot better. And Kayana Traylor is just better at that than Raven. Okay. So I've been watching Kayana Traylor for years, y'all. And like I said before, there was no way she should have ever been waived. She always should have been in this league, always. And she just dominated in the Athletes Unlimited. This was the greatest Athletes Unlimited has ever been. They had 40 players. Only 4 weren't WNBA players. Everyone was flat out WNBA players. And she dominated. Kayana Traylor dominated. So that's an argument you can make, right? That's an argument. You can say, you got Kayana Traylor. Ty Harris isn't great at point guard, but you still got Ty. And you got Kayana Traylor. I don't think that was necessary getting Raven. Let's go after a big. Let's go after a big, okay? And that's something you could have done. I think Medina Okot was there to be had, if I'm not mistaken. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Medina Okot was there. Let me check that out. I could be wrong. Let's go to the WNBA real quick. Let me see. Let me look at Medina Okot real quick. Yeah, Medina was there. Medina was there. Medina was there. So I don't know why I thought Atlanta was picking higher than that. But yeah, Medina is there. So you could have got Medina, and Medina could be that backup that we really needed. Like, we need height. 6'6", and she's a damn good defender, and she's very versatile on offense. Okay, she's a dynamic big on offense, and she's a damn good defender. Okay, and she's 6'6". She has girth. She has strong. She has all of this potential in all of this. So Medina was there. We really needed Medina, y'all. We truly, honest to God, we needed Medina. And we needed a pure point guard. They decided to go with the pure point guard before going with the big. So there's that. You could have made an argument if they needed a point, they should have went to Rory Harmon. They didn't want to go to Rory because Rory is only 5'6". That's why they didn't want to do that. Rory is also at the top of the NCAA in assist to turnover ratio. Rory has great vision. Rory is one of the last few pure point guards left, and she's a lockdown defender, and she can hit her shots. She can create for herself. And you can't say, well, Rory had a bad knee injury. Well, Raven had a bad knee injury. What it was that they said, well, Raven got championships and Raven is a winner. Rory is a winner too. Okay, it's not like Texas is a trash team. So Rory is a winner too. She doesn't have any national championships, but she's a winner. Raven had a knee injury. Rory had a knee injury. Raven is a lockdown defender. Rory is a lockdown defender. Raven has a great assist to turnover ratio. Rory has a great assist to turnover ratio. Raven can get her own shot. Rory can get her own shot. It's just that Raven is 3 inches taller. And I think that's what it was. For me, that's what it was. Raven is 3 inches taller, and boom. And they decided to go with the woman who has some championships. Even if you don't count her first championship, it don't matter, right? It don't matter. You still got to count the last one. So she has a championship. So you count that. You give her credit for that. I just think what it was between those two, Raven is 3 inches taller. So you go with Raven. And that's what they did. Did we need a pure point guard? Yes, we did, y'all. Yes, we did. We truly did. Did we need a big? 1,000%. Should we have drafted Medina before Raven? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just being honest, because I'm only saying that this isn't to bash Raven. All I'm saying is that Kayana Traylor is ready to go. Kayana Traylor is ready to go right now. She ready to go, y'all. Okay, she ready to go. But I'm not mad that we got Raven, because Raven can learn from Caitlin, and then Raven is going to be a complete point guard once she learned from Caitlin, and then Raven is going to make Caitlin a better defender and better on offense in terms of going to the rim. So for me, it's a win-win situation. I just felt that, damn, like, you didn't really need her because you just signed Kayana Traylor. For some of you who don't know about Kayana Traylor, let me show you her real quick. Okay, let me show you her real quick. I don't really want this video to be this long, but this chick is nice. She nice, her vision nice, her defense nice, everything about her. And she always been this way, always. So let me see if, let's go to her. I know I'm following her on this one. Let me see, does she share any highlights? Yeah, that's my girl right here. This is Kayana. So I'm super excited about my girl. So she was killing it in Athletes Unlimited. Killing it. She was murdering them in Athletes Unlimited, y'all. Murdering them. She has the best escape dribble I've seen since, I would say, Kaomi McMiller, Sierra Dillard. I think her escape dribble is the best I've seen. Her escape dribble is crazy. Like, yeah, that chick escape dribble is nasty. Yeah, she She's complete. She's complete. Her vision, her handles, her creativity, her shooting, her quickness, her first step, her IQ. She's amazing. She was always supposed to be a first round pick out of Vatech. She should have been a first round pick. Like, it's insane. Yeah, that's Kayana. And she proved it, y'all. And the deepest Athletes Unlimited we've ever seen. This chick was in there dominating. Yeah, she nice, y'all. She real nice. Yeah, you see, Raven can't do any of this stuff she can do. That's why I said, like, and she better than Caitlin Clark as well in terms of her offensive game. Now, Caitlin doesn't have that type of escape dribble, but her reverse game is lovely. Caitlin got a nasty reverse game, but Caitlin don't have all of that going to the basket. She can't do that. And Caitlin doesn't have a better escape dribble. So, yeah. See, Caitlin has none of this. None of this interior stuff, none of this attacking the rim. Caitlin can't do that better than her. And Caitlin doesn't have a better escape dribble. Y'all saw that pass? Yeah, Caitlin doesn't have a better escape dribble. But Caitlin reverse game is top tier. Top tier. Damn, she made her taste earth, dog. She made her taste earth. Right. So, and she proved it in Athletes Unlimited. That's why last night I was like, I could show you highlights of her all day overseas and she murdering chicks. But you want to see her against WNBA talent. So Athletes Unlimited had a legit 36 WNBA players. Athletes Unlimited had 40 players. 36 were WNBA players. And she was murdering them, y'all. Okay, murdering them. And so, yeah, like she's serious. Kayana's serious, y'all. She real serious. And she didn't do anything wrong with Chicago. Chicago should have never waived her. She didn't do anything wrong. What, James Wade got rid of her like an idiot. She dominated preseason. She literally did nothing wrong. Matter of fact, let's go to that one preseason game, and that was in Canada. And James Wade, an idiot, man. There was no need for James Wade to do that. Let's go. Damn. Yeah, let's go Kayana trailer. So let's check this out. This like James Wade, an idiot. There was no need to waive her. No need.
Sweat, hot flash sweat, first toast sweat. We've got you with serum-infused, skin-softening, unbeatable sweat protection. Dove Clinical Plus Care is care that gets sweat. There was some space.
I'll put this in landscape.
There was some space created on the shot. It didn't matter.
Trailer, long two, as she pulls up off the inbound.
Conversation continues to be had. It's important. It has to be had. It's part of growing the game.
Nice jumper there from Trailer. Opening night on May 19th.
Yes, they will do it again in 6 days, ladies and gentlemen. This is just an appetizer.
As Trailer knocks down the three.
19 assists on the afternoon, and look at the ball movement from Chicago. And you know what?
Trailer pulls and connects again. 3 for 3, trading buckets here, back and forth. And Trailer having a great second half here. 10 points, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Copper, 2 seconds on the shot clock. That doesn't go. Anigwe backpacks it. Trailer connects again, and Coach Reed wanted a foul.
Yeah, and if you want a WNBA pro game, you got to go play for Kenny, because one thing Kenny preaches, he says basketball. I'm not making this up. I swear to God. Kenny says basketball is supposed to have a certain aesthetic. It's supposed to have a certain look to it. And so he teaches them all of these pro guard skills all the time. That's what he did with Georgia Amore, right? That's what he's going to do with Maddie Greenway. That's what he did with Kayana. Like, that's literally what he said. Kenny said basketball is supposed to have a certain aesthetic to it. It's supposed to look a certain way. And that's why he teaches them these type of skills, man. So, yeah, if you look at any guard from Kenny, they're all elite. Their guard skills, their handles, their go-tos, their counters, it's all elite. So what y'all want to see? One more? We're not going to college. Like, we don't want to look at college. Like, she was killing them chicks in college. She killing them chicks overseas. Let's see her against WNBA. And for that, you would have to go to Athletes Unlimited. But this stuff is so long because Athletes Unlimited, they just got mainly full games. They got some highlight games, but a lot of the games are just full games. And so I'm not doing that because them games are over an hour. So I'm not going to do that. But maybe I should just go to video. Wait a second, dog. Let's go to Athletes Unlimited. Let's go here. Let's go to videos. Now, it don't matter what game you watch of Kayana, she murdering chicks. So well, at least this one was 1 minute 28 seconds. Let's see this. Let's check this one out. Let me see if they'll show her in this one.
113th game in
Come on, baby.
This first week.
And in 16, in that chair chat, she came out and she had to do her thing. That's usually what she does.
Oh, that's
so it was
a
nice
recap?
to see her come out and have a game. I think this will, impact her confidence going in.
Man, I'm thinking they about to show some highlights. All right, so I don't know. I guess let's pick this up in a second half. Where you at? Let's go to this one. Let me see if I can find a second half. All right, let's go.
Really well.
Oh, Caitlin, hey girl.
Working really well because then we're able to get out in transition as well. Offensively, I think we're just exploiting our mismatches really well.
Oh, Caitlin, hey girl.
Hey Sid, how are you?
I'm doing so well. It's nice to see you. Caitlin, tell me, what do you think that you all have to do in this game to ensure that Rhythm can get the first win out of all 3 weeks so far?
I think we just got to keep playing how we're playing. I feel like we're getting good shots. We're just not converting and continuing to sort of like get a stop, score, stop. Okay, gotta go, bye.
He's going to replace Aaliyah Nye, who checks out. Charles has scored the last 6 for the Rhythm, while Kaylin Chen was on the bench for a moment. Cannon. Rhythm. That 1-point lead. David Kelly trying to find it. Cannot. Good position underneath from the glow. Trailer. And Barker, that guard combination back on the floor with Russell. Trailer got past everybody and lays it high off the window.
She just does a good job of keeping her dribble, getting downhill.
She never slows down.
No. And she continues to move. And as a shooter, that's really tough as a defender. Somebody who's always in movement. Get in there.
Charles cleans it up off the Beck Gardner drive.
Yeah, really good for Tina. She needs those easy bunnies. Especially when her like 1-foot jumpers and stuff aren't falling. Don't foul, Beck. Don't foul.
Well, there is a foul right there. S.A. Barker. There is an Aaliyah Nye celebration right back on her.
Yes, she did.
She
And
put
Aaliyah's
it
laughing.
right back on her.
Aaliyah's laughing. I love the former.
Well, both can definitely light it up scoring-wise.
Yeah, they can. Very capable scorers.
Rhythm trying to go inside. Harrison spins, finds a hole, but
I don't like that.
Made fun of Bree.
and Asia Taylor, explosive off the bench, drops a 3 there. Good job by number 2, who's shooting 33% from 3 up to that point. Good little pick and roll. Cannon inside against
Emma's a load. You're starting to see a little more movement from Glow and a little
one-on-one action and Josh.
I think Rhythm's got to get back into a flow of swinging the ball side to side and getting some better shots.
Well, how about this little one-on-one action and drive straight to the bucket and put it in. Bria Hartley to score. Hartley did miss those 2 games.
Typically, you would have gotten more resistance from Beck Gardner right there, but we know that she's got 3 fouls, so she's not quite being as aggressive defensively.
Cannon remains aggressive offensively, stripped by Hartley twice in a row.
Good hands right there. I think Emma was looking for a foul call, but
Taylor just hit a 3, leans it with that one on the right hand. Cannon the other way with numbers. Chance to score here, 4 on 3. Cannon straight in, and that'll be a blocking foul. Under a minute to go. Peace.
game much better.
It's out. The 5th championship in Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball history. Cannon, 2nd of 2. Second one is good. So down 5, but just a minute remaining in this quarter. A lot of work has to be done. Can Cannon get hot? Maybe drop another 3. She's already in double figures.
They would need it.
Taylor stripped by Cannon. That'll be some points. Harrison with it. Stripped by Sherrod. She'll have a free run at the hoop here. It should be an easy bucket. And it is.
So Izzy was regretting that. She knows she should have swung it the other way. She went to the side with more people, with less people.
Chen hasn't done a ton of scoring here early in this one. Her side with 38 on the board. Bottled up thus far. Russell with the defense there. Cannon for 3. No good. Offensive rebound by Deja Kelly. Captain inside draws a trap. Harrison draws too much attention from Russell. The 6th, the turnaround.
All right.
It is.
Yeah. One thing about her.
Defensive end a little bit. I think our offense.
Yeah. One thing I like. One thing about Kayana, she's sort of like AZ Fudd in terms of like they don't really like the camera that much or like talking a lot. But yeah, anyway, let's go. That's a long halftime show, boy. That's a long halftime show. Jesus. All right, let's go.
Means they got a lot of balance, so no one person is having to do it all.
So we're here in the second half and underway as the Rhythm trail the Glow by 5. Nye around the outside. Oh, that's a block from Mack, and that's been a feature this year, not a bug. Trailer right back the other way. Oh, would like to have that one back.
That's going up.
Nye right back into the paint. This time we'll kick it to Charles, who's not afraid to shoot from 3. How about the second time? 10 to shoot now. Patience from the Rhythm in this possession.
Good pass.
To Gardner in the corner, and she's money.
Hey, that was great. Great patience and movement from Rhythm. One person go off the bounce, get your man in the air, go off the bounce, kick it to the next person. Same thing. Find the open shooter, knock down from Rebecca Gardner.
Nice defense on the other end from Turner. Nye and Trailer facing off. Picking up the dribble is Nye. He'll give it to Charles. Step back from Mack. no good. And Gardner knifing in there.
It's in there.
Picks it up. It does not convert for her side, but that's a nice move by the captain, who's averaging 3 rebounds a game.
First few minutes out of half are always interesting. It's kind of like the beginning of the game. People are trying to catch their breath again, find their pace.
Trailer inside, and this time she does find it. She's been quite aggressive to start. We had Mac. Nye left some space back to her left. We'll find Charles again, who's involved early. Chen suffers from a trap, and that's a turnover. 3-on-2 break. Leslie to Russell. That'll be an easy one for number 21. 49-43.
Going to get to some horns action. Coach Vaughn told them to slow it down right there.
Chen speedily to the bucket.
Needed that right there. Which is just a good read off of their horns action. They brought Tina Charles and Bree Turner high. Chen gave it up, got a handoff coming back, and her man got caught on the screen a little bit, so she had room to drive to the basket.
Yeah, so when they come out high, that creates a lot of space.
A lot of space. And you have shooters wide, so you're in good position.
Mack to the corner. Speaking of shooters, Ashley Barker cannot sink that one. Gardner fights for the rebound, comes out with it. 1-on-3. That's not going to work. The captain smartly waits, the veteran out of UCLA. Feeding Charles inside. That seems to be the game here early on. Contact, no call against Mack. Trailer, Barker, bucket.
Yeah, I felt it.
The rhythm. Natasha Mack. Person has.
She's.
Oh, that goes to the t-shirt. I had a setting from homesports.com. Come visit us here in Nashville. We got 2 more weeks. Have a whole bunch more game days coming up. 2 yet to go. After today, this Wednesday, we're back with you Friday, Saturday, and then we'll have 3 more dates next week as the Globe go ahead to Trailer on Cannon with the left hand. That is her dominant hand, skipping it off the window.
Her first step is so quick. She could have probably shot the shot on Emma, but she wanted to attack the basket. And good look ahead by Kiara Leslie to get her even running in transition.
Trailer with 11. We talked about her. You were excited to see that matchup. Has Trailer won it with Chen is the question. Chen was just...
Oh, and by the way, this is a light game for Kayana. There's light. There's light, y'all. There's light.
2. Gardner's been winning the matchup against everybody as she puts that one in. Creating her own space, number 35, Rebecca Gardner.
I like to see that from her. She's had to tone down her intensity, I think on both ends a little bit because of her fouls. So, don't worry about the fouls at this point. She's got 3. You're going to never have to play. I think that's okay.
Trailer picked it up. Maybe had a chance to take it against Cannon again. Instead, they'll feed the captain. Right back to Trailer. Oh, lefty on lefty. Previous score by number 88.
She quit. She got such a quick first step. She was on the 3-point line and still beat Emma, to the basket.
Drafted by the Sky in 23, signed with the Lynx, played 8 games there. That was the last time she was in the W. Chaz might be taking a different look. Zaya Cook with the score there.
Here we go.
Cook, 3rd overall.
This group of guards, Zaya being in for the rhythm is really necessary, I think, for the rest of this game because she gets downhill so well and can create for other people. Good cut.
Right underneath, Leslie with the score here. She's on defense and cannot stop Gardner in transition.
Really good kick ahead.
1. A little bit closer on Rebecca Gardner. Hannah.
Well, Rebecca Gardner just found herself up there.
So what I like also is in this game, you get to see her play off ball as well. So you'll see her in the 4th quarter play with Jalen Sherrard. Jalen would be the dominant point, and they would have Kayana playing off ball, which is great. But this is about Kayana, so we're going to move past this. All right. Let me keep going until I see her back in the game. There she is. She's sitting down at the scorer's table. Hold up.
That's it. maybe is higher than we've seen with some other teams. How are you doing that?
Sorry, can you say that again? I didn't hear you.
How are you guys pushing the pace of this game?
Really just trying to get defensive stops and then get out in transition. I feel like that's when we're at our best. We got some quick guards, so.
Y'all do. Kayana, I'm loving watching your game today. We've been saying nothing but good things. What was your focus coming into this game? Because it looked like from the jump, you were shaking people, putting up jumpers. What was your mentality?
Yeah, I'm just confident right now. I've had people around me that believe in me. And I've worked hard. I've been overseas working for real, so I'm just trying to showcase what I've been doing, really.
For those that don't know about basketball in Africa, can you give them a brief description of what that was like?
Very physical, which I feel like helped me because, you know, people are usually bigger than me, so not too much, but yeah, it helped me a lot just physically, and then, like I said, just my confidence, just going in and really trying to be a scorer.
Has this AU environment of being like a...
I think just
with off-foot Taylor in the glow with the lead here. Foul contact from Hartley. About 1:40 to play here in the third. So it was a clear path. Like if you get in my way and I'm headed for the bucket, you're in my way.
Let's keep going until she gets.
The player out of Oregon. There's a turnover. Cook.
Zaya was going to go low, has been attacking them in.
By just 3. That'll be Cannon trying to handle Russell.
What rhythm were you taking?
This one, because I really, but I like the guard play on the rhythm side. Here's Chen, has been fairly quiet.
I think it's a great effective offensively. With
All right,
the
they're going to wait till the fourth quarter.
They've got it.
Overall, 16.
My teammates are not fiction.
12.
I know. Should have, but she didn't let it stop her from getting better, and she ended up getting a championship out of it. 2 championships out of it, so you just love to see things like that. She was a 30-year-old rookie or something like that.
Yeah, and when she did get an opportunity, it was just a training camp contract with the Chicago Sky. Well, that would turn into 2 years, and then at Liberty. And now she is #1 on the leaderboard coming into today, looking for those win points. And it would help if Caitlin Chen would continue. Do not get a quick second. We've already seen. All right, well, Anna, what's going on now?
She wanted the call, so she was upset. But you can see her, she's laughing about it because she knows she wasn't expecting the tech.
Kia Vaughn isn't having any of that. That is a pretty mild bit of talk with Josh Reed, our crew chief.
That's funny. I was not expecting that.
Good thing Alicia Clark wasn't here. We would still have her John at the ref right now, right? Let's take a look back at that play and what happened. In that case,
I like to see it.
You're for sure getting teed up.
Yeah.
Launch from Cook comes up short, and the league's leading rebounder comes up with it.
Shocker, shocker.
Yeah, Natasha Mack with that one here. Here's Sherrod. Chen playing way off. Trailer, she's a threat from 3, leaves it behind. Taking Kelly to the basket. Baseline jumper from Mack, can't find it. Rhythm can tie it here. Have not shot a ton of threes. We haven't seen a lot of threes in this game.
Job in transition, though, Kev. They've started to push Peyton to shoot that many, I feel like.
Yeah, it's very much the style of play being dictated by the personnel.
And the captains, how they want to play.
Cook. A beautiful picture of a jump shot there.
Very nice. Yeah, they'll need Zaya for this quarter to keep being aggressive, keep looking for herself and others.
I mean, she has 2 20-point games already. She could be that source of offense. Gardner can assert herself as well. Step back. We've seen him only a couple of times with the advantage. Go back to the first quarter. The Rhythm took that quarter 21-20. It was 45-40 at the half.
Has this game been more than a 7-point difference either way, though? I don't think it's been.
No, nobody's gotten away. We've had a number of games where even at the very start there's an outbreak. The most we've had is 8 in this one. Parker, that'll help the Globe cause to stay on top.
That's that 3 you asked for. Say said, I got you, girl.
The Globe defense has done a nice job on Caitlin Chen. Zaya Cook with a lot of traffic inside. Trailer. No. Quickly the other way. Rhythm inside. Cannon got it.
That was a really good swing for them right there.
A good ball. Mack has shot a couple of threes. This time didn't even consider it. Traylor, it's been a while since she launched. They've been getting to the bucket effectively.
You gotta move it. They're just waiting a lot.
Couple dual threats here. 5 to shoot. Right hand, too strong. Cook. 3-on-3. Traylor is Charles, and that might be a charge. No. And indeed, we'll go the other way.
See, I want Zaya to make that read that Jalen Sherrod was coming in addition to Traylor already being in front of her. That's a kick to Caitlin Chen for a 3, and that's probably now y'all are up 1. So just that little decision making, but I like that she's aggressive offensively. Like, she's coming here to work on her aggression and work on her scoring. Just want to see, make those reads, and that's going to be the difference in her game if she's playing point.
Paint and spray?
Paint and spray, 100%. And attacking with that purpose, not getting to the paint and being surprised that 2 people came, but making them come to you.
Yeah, being 1 step ahead.
1 step ahead.
A little predictive here. Sherrod took many steps there, and the ball. Expect to see Traylor back on the floor here after a short rest. Expires the defensive.
And get a shot up. She was going to shoot. Keep shooting, but no.
Nearly threw it away. Yeah, right on top of the scoreboard there. Chen now with 11.
I mean, just I think Rhythm has a different
in a rhythm. Yeah, Caitlin Chen is that complete guard.
And especially like me as a pass first point guard, if I haven't been able to get some like.
All right, Anna, Rhythm have the ball and the lead. What's been going on?
Well, first of all, Sid, I happen to really like your usage of Rhythm there. And the Rhythm are focused on quarter wins, not just team wins. That was a half of the conversation in their huddle, was the fact that though they have a 1-point lead now, they're still losing the 4th quarter by 3. And they know that they need those points because they dropped both quarters in the first half. So just reminding our viewers at home how much each quarter individually matters for these players' leaderboard points.
Those leaderboard points are huge. Mentioned Chen had over 1,000 leaderboard points in her first week. A big part of her being the #1 on the leaderboard.
It absolutely would. I mean, they keep getting. It's very impressive to see their D. They're playing a zone, like I said, and they're switching a lot. You know, when people run past you, you just take them. It doesn't matter if it's a big or a guard.
Step back 3.
And Beck Gardner mentioned this. She said, I feel like I have a group that we could do some different things defensively. And so she's been throwing this at them really for the entirety of this quarter.
Got a little 3-2 going on right now, but fading into man here, it looks like.
You got Chen low. You got Izzy out on the perimeter with her big.
There's a bucket there from Mack. A smooth-looking step in.
Good shot fake and pull up.
73-72. Rhythm needing to keep pace here. Cook and Barker, close contact. Chen now from 3. Yes! That'll do. 20.
Yeah, Chen. She needed that. That's what I'm saying. She's just playing a lot more confidently now.
Yeah, she's hit a couple here in the second half. Barker trapped into the corner, corralled that one. Traylor quickly underneath. Chen just there late. This is a look back at that.
She sprayed to Caitlin Chen for the 3, and that wasn't even a paint and spray. She didn't even touch the paint, but just that downhill look, getting near the free throw line, opened her man up.
Open up enough space. Rhythm 75-74. Traylor at the line with a chance to tie it here on the second of 2. Just over 2 minutes remain our first game of the day. More coming for you 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. 75 apiece now. Once again tied.
This is such a good early game, Kevin. What a treat for us.
Yeah, this is one of our better games. No one's been able to get away. Lead was 8, and that was not for long as Cook draws time. Serving as captain tonight. Little scouting.
Oh, no.
Game. Inkling.
We
kind of get the leg up there. Overturn. I mean, look.
From Glow, Liana, you have to worry about
What happened?
A flat ball screen will first
play. Score tied at 75. Will it be defense? Will it be offense that makes the plays here? There is that action Anna just told you about. Traylor, 5 to shoot. She will go inside against Charles and lose that battle. That's happened to a lot of people, Jana. Don't feel bad.
I don't even think Tina jumped either.
Charles now in control.
Oh!
Rolling, nearly had it. Trailer coming the other way. To Russell, little soft jumper. Corrals her own.
That was
3.
practice in overtime.
The Space Shuttle Enterprise took its maiden flight back then. Sydney Colson hit a game winner in 22. $50 million worth of diamonds were stolen in Belgium in 2013. There's your random facts of the day. You learned something, kids.
Thank you so much, Captain.
Yeah, we're about to learn who's going to win this game with a minute to go. 76-75. Huge stop there. Rhythm, 1-point lead and the ball.
Really big stop.
Trailer can take her time here. Will we see some more of that high ball screen action here? Trying to hand it off. Seeing Charles look like she came up with her hand, got hit, and Trailer goes right at her. Now Charles holding that right thumb.
Yeah.
And Kiana Trailer going to the bucket for what is now a 3-point lead. The X action going on top?
It was the X action, and it was, I don't think they were ever looking for it. They just wanted to get the ball back to Kiana, back at the top, for her to get a high ball screen. And the thing is, up top in like a flat ball screen, or when you're in the middle of the court, because Kiana is left-handed, they wanted to not force her that way. But the thing about forcing a left-handed player right is that once they come off the screen and the guard is hit, now they can get back to their left. I'm personally a fan of when I'm playing people, I force them to their strong hand so that by the time that you snake, you're going to your right instead. But, you know, it's not a ton of time to always work on those.
I was taking a little damage. She was holding Trailer now.
I can drop.
Trailer now and the glow with the lead.
Really good from Kiana. I mean, it was a great read on her part. The defense wasn't up at the point of the screen, and Tina was a little too far back and drop for her. So she's like, yeah, let me attack to my strong hand.
Let's go down to Anna.
They drew up an elevator screen. You're about to hear it right now. Zaya Cook is going to come up through. See it right here. They're looking for a 3 right here.
Instead, they get a drive from Cook and then a kick. Gardner got it. We're tied.
Yes.
Great call, Anna.
Great play. Great play. All right, they need a stop, Kev. There's enough time for a stop and a score, but you're going for glow, so.
3 seconds. Glow with it.
High ball screen.
3 seconds between shot and game clock. Trailer with Russell, finding no space. Second time. 3 to shoot. Mack, the countdown sinks it.
Do they have a timeout?
5 seconds to go.
No timeout?
80-78. Timeout called by Kia Vaughn.
Yeah, Matt.
With 5.5 remaining. What a shot from Natasha Mack. (14 and 16). Is that what you were looking at there?
Yeah, and possibly the game winner. We'll see. Great play by Zaya in rhythm, though, to get into the paint, recognizing this doesn't help us that much. Kick it out to Beck Gardner for 3.
And then this response here from the captain, who kicked out to that free throw line and put it away for the 2-point advantage. When you're running an elevator screen,
yeah,
it's designed to get a 3. Is that where the 3 is supposed to finish after the drive?
Yeah, sometimes, okay. and usually the person coming through the elevator, you close it on the defender right after, so they do have room to turn and shoot. But sometimes people's elevator screens go into something else. You have a second option because it doesn't always work. People know it's either a misdirection or an elevator in a late game situation where you need a 3. So it's a really good read by Zaya to know, I don't need a 2. Let me kick back out to Gardner.
Back to your court vision.
Yeah.
And thinking a step ahead.
Zaya attack.
Let's take a look at
on the boards. And she wants to win. She wants her team to play hard, and she's leading by example that whole way.
5.5 seconds remain. Glow, 80-78. We are tied in the quarter score as well. They can score the rhythm here. They cannot. And time expires. No call, no change on the board. But there was no out now. She's
every day, so rebound.
So victory for the Glow here in our first game of 6 on the weekend in week 3 of action. In athlete